Wafula, and these are the stories that are making headlines in the country. And we started off with Education CS Ezekiel Machogu unveils new grading system. Now the changes in the education field, and Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu have announced changes to the Kcse grading structure this year and in subsequent years. The changes are aimed at increasing the number of students who will qualify for university and tertiary education. Here is a breakdown of what exactly that new grading system looks like.
In the new grading system that will be applied to the 2023 Kcse examination, the only two mandatory subjects will be mathematics and one language, either English language, Kiswahili, or Kenyan Sign Language. In addition to the two mandatory subjects, the Kenya National Examination Council will consider another 5 best performed subjects. Actually, from PP1, we have the two languages. That is, we have English language and we also have Kiswahili. So it really depends. If one does well in this particular subject, then that is what we will be able to take into account.
With effect from this year's exams, the collection of the Kcse examinations papers will be done twice from the container. The Council has mapped all examination centers to the nearest distribution point so that every school is able to pick its examination papers more efficiently.
As part of our measures to ensure that the last phase of the preparations for the national examinations are successful, all TSC field officers who are currently on leave must resume duty on October 16th, 2023.
From that now to Ruto Health Bill push Social Health Insurance Bill to be tabled in Parliament. The Social Health Insurance Bill is set to be tabled in Parliament today following the conclusion of public participation. Now the bill is amongst a raft of pieces of legislation that the executive hopes will be enacted ahead of the launch of the Universal Healthcare Program next month. The Social Health Insurance Bill, SHIB, establishes the Social Health Insurance Fund that will take over from the National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, and its implementation could see Kenyans pay more in taxes to finance the provision of health services envisioned under the Act. Here are pictures of the launch of community healthcare workers and volunteers yesterday by President William Ruto and Health CS Susan Nahumija.
We may all agree, without any fear of contradiction, that the world is headed in a most undesirable direction. It is moments like this that the affirmative spirit of multilateralism, international collective action, and global solidarity is most needed and should be attained. This is not the occasion for any member of the United Nations to escape when they should be rising to the challenge of the moment. Resorting to pursuit of narrow, insular, antisocial agendas within exclusive clubs constituted to maintain the status quo that undermines and cannibalizes the United Nations systems at the expense of progress in humanity's collective journey to the future of our aspirations is totally unacceptable. I request you, members, to work with us to expedite the legislations that we have put in place so that we can make sure that this program is anchored in law.
Kule bunge tuko na malizia mambo ya public hearings na kufikia kesho we shall table the bills pamoja na ile ya digital health bill ambaye itahakisha kwamba yale mnafanya kule mashinani agency ambayo itahusika naye itaweza kuyaweka katika health information system yetu.
Ya pili, tuko na primary healthcare bill ambayo pia tunashughulikia na tunajua ndani ya wiki moja tutakuwa tumeweza kupitisha kama bunge la seneti.
The laws that have been proposed, the 4 bills that are proposed that are before parliament today, which have had very comprehensive consultation, and we want to confirm here today we are consulted as Council of Governors and we have given our input, are going to make sure that we have a uniformity in the whole of Kenya, where there is a CHV from Tharaka Nithi, Turkana, Mombasa. They are going to operate under the same standards.
We are also starting the journey to register every household in Kenya so that we can have the information on the health requirements, on the health condition, on the prevalence of whatever diseases in every part of Kenya.
From the president now to Kenya and United States signed a defense cooperation agreement. The United States has pledged $100 million to support Kenya's mission in Haiti, where Nairobi has committed to deploy 1,000 police officers to help restore security in the Caribbean country. Now, Defense Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, while hosting his U.S. counterpart Lloyd Austin, said Washington and Nairobi enjoy shared commitments beyond the military-to-military relations.
So the United States remains committed to working with Kenya to help bring stability and security to the region and beyond. And we deeply appreciate Kenya's leadership and friendship.
This framework is a symbol of our shared vision for a better tomorrow. Both Kenya and the United States are driven by a common purpose, and together we will navigate the challenges that lie ahead.
Our concern is that, again, we have established some momentum. We want to make sure that, where possible, we maintain that momentum. So I think countries in the region are looking for ways to continue to help, but in terms of what that's going to look like is yet to be defined.
And we are working very well with the U.S., both in the whole and in the Great Lakes region. Our troops serving under ATMIS, our troops serving, and our troops serving in African.
Now to court releases woman linked with the man of Nairobi Hospital's Eric Machogu. And Nairobi has released a suspect linked with the man of Nairobi Hospital acting finance director Eric Machogu. This is after the prosecution or even continue detaining the alleged suspect. Last week, the prosecution applied for her to be detained for 5 days investigations. Now, the investigations, we have the director of public here court was told the miscellaneous file closed and the woman was set free. Eric Machogu, the acting finance at Nairobi Hospital, was discovered with 5 stab wounds in a pool of blood at his Woodley Estate residence in Nairobi last week. That's making headlines in the country currently. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're coming back with stories that are making headlines in the dailies. Keep it science.
At Science TV, we are dedicated to give you quality animation movies.
What's wrong with you, stupid?